Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and today I thought I would share with you guys some books that I'm really looking forward to that are coming out sometime between now and the end of 2024. So you can mark your calendars along with me if they sound like things that you would be interested in. We got all different genres in here, and there's just so many good books coming out this year. I mean, every year, but this year I'm very excited. So we're just going to get on into it. The first is from author Paul Tremblay, who I love so much. If you've been around my channel for a while, I've done book talks on a few of his books. I really love The Pallbearers Club. That's, I think, my favorite of his so far that I've read. I've still got a few older ones to check out, but as for now, that's my favorite. So the book he has coming out this year is called Horror Movie. So let me read you a little bit of the blurb here, and you can see if it sounds good to you. A chilling twist on the cursed film genre from the best-selling author of The Pallbearers Club and The Cabin at the End of the World. In June 1993, a group of young guerrilla filmmakers spent 4 weeks making Horror Movie, a notorious, disturbing art house horror flick. The weird part, only 3 of the film's scenes were ever released to the public. But Horror Movie has nevertheless grown a rabid fan base. 3 decades later, Hollywood is pushing for a big budget reboot. The man who played the Thin Kid is the only surviving cast member. He remembers all too well the secrets buried within the original screenplay, the bizarre events of the filming, and the dangerous cross lines on set that resulted in tragedy. As memory floods back in, the boundaries between reality and film, past and present, start to blur, but he's going to help remake the film, even if it means navigating a world of cynical producers, egomaniacal directors, and surreal fan conventions. Demons of the past be damned, but at what cost? Horror Movie is an obsessive, psychologically chilling, and suspenseful twist on the cursed film that breathlessly builds to an unforgettable, mind-bending conclusion. Like, yes please, sign me up for that. Next up, we have Better by Far by Hazel Hayes. Now, I came to know Hazel as a YouTuber. She did a lot of really beautiful vlogs. She called them Time of the Month, and it would be like a monthly vlog. And I loved them so much, and that was really where I kind of got taken with her. And she wrote a book a few years ago. I want to say like 3-4 years ago now. I'm not entirely sure, called Out of Love. And I enjoyed that. It was kind of a I was gonna say kind of a romance story, but not really. I guess you'd call it like women's literature. It takes the story of a relationship and tells it backwards. We start at the breakup and we go backwards to when they met. And I thought that was a really interesting way to tell the story, and I really enjoyed it. So she's got this new book coming out, Better by Far, and let's see what it's about. A genre-bending story about love and loss, hope and heartbreak, and the healing to be found in life's little limbos. Those in-between spaces where you're no longer who you were and not yet the person you will be. Following a breakup, Kate and Finn decide to keep sharing their house until the lease runs out in 12 weeks. Alternating week by week so that they're occupying the same space, but never at the same time. Practically, the plan makes sense, but coming back each Sunday to a home where Finn has been feels far too much like living with a ghost. Soon Kate finds herself adrift in her own subconscious, trapped in the liminal space between loving someone and letting go. That sounds really good. Really good. And to me, Hazel is first of all, she's a knockout. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. She's so intelligent. She's so vibrant. There's something very alluring about her. And as a writer, she's really great, and I really look forward to this book. Next up, we've got the yearly offering from Riley Sager. This one's called Middle of the Night. Now, I know Riley Sager is a fairly divisive author. People either love his work or hate it, or they love some of it and they hate some of it, but honestly, for me, I've enjoyed everything that I've read from him, even the ones that people tend to hate because they go off the tracks. I'm here for it. I'm here for that crash, you know what I mean? So I'll definitely be reading this one as well. So let's see what it says. I think this one has his first man as the protagonist. Okay, let's see. In the latest jaw-dropping thriller from New York Times bestselling author Riley Sager, a man must contend with the long-ago disappearance of his childhood best friend and the dark secrets lurking just beyond the safe confines of his picture-perfect neighborhood. The worst thing to ever happen on Hemlock Circle occurred in Nathan Marsh's backyard. One July night, 10-year-old Nathan and his best friend and neighbor Billy fell asleep in a tent set up on a manicured lawn in a quiet, quaint New Jersey cul-de-sac. In the morning, Ethan woke up alone. During the night, someone had sliced the tent open with a knife and taken Billy. He was never seen again. 30 years later, Ethan has reluctantly returned to his childhood home, plagued by bad dreams and insomnia. He begins to notice strange things happening in the middle of the night. Someone seems to be roaming the cul-de-sac at odd hours, and signs of Billy's presence keep appearing in Ethan's backyard. Is someone playing a cruel prank, or has Billy, long thought to be dead, somehow returned to Hemlock Circle? Yeah. I'm into it. I'm sure it'll be wild, and I'm here for it. Next up, we have a book from an author I've never heard of before. I don't know if it's a debut or what, but it's called We Used to Live Here by Marcus Clywer. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But let's get into the blurb. It says, The Turn of the Key meets Parasite, which right there, you've got me. You have got me. I loved The Turn of the Key. Loved Parasite, the movie. In this eerily haunting debut and Reddit hit, so it is a debut, soon to be a Netflix original movie starring Blake Lively. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, cool. About two homeowners whose lives are turned upside down when the house's previous residents unexpectedly visit. Okay, that alone, I'm like, yes, I love it when people show up at the door in any book. When someone weird shows up at the door, I'm like, yes. Which is probably why I don't, I don't answer the door. Like, unless I know you're coming, I don't answer the door because I've read too many books. Don't answer the door unless you can see them through the window. Do not answer it. Okay. As a young queer couple who flips houses, Charlie and Eve can't believe the killer deal they've just gotten on an old house in a picturesque neighborhood. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. As they're working in the house one day, there's a knock on the door. A man stands there with his family, claiming to have lived there years before and asking if it would be all right if he showed his kids around. No, it wouldn't. Which is funny. When we lived in the city before we moved to this small town we live in about a decade ago, that happened to us in a house we lived in. And Ed let them in. I would never have done that. People pleaser to a fault. Eve lets them in. As soon as the family enters their home, strange and inexplicable things start happening, including their toddler going missing and a ghostly presence materializing in the basement. Excuse me? Even more weird, the family can't seem to take the hint that their visit's over. And when Charlie suddenly vanishes, Eve slowly loses her grip on reality. Yes. Something is terribly wrong with the house and with the visiting family. Or is Eve just imagining things? Next up is Ghost Camera by Darcy Coates. I've read a few Darcy Coates books and I really liked them. However, now that I'm going to the Goodreads page for it, this looks like it's going to be a reprint. Like maybe it was picked up by a bigger publisher and is being published again, which I didn't realize before, which doesn't change me wanting to read it, but I know I had said these are all new books that are coming out this year. So take that how you will. But it says a small number of cameras have the ability to capture ghosts on film. This gift comes at a steep price. The ghosts are resentful and hungry, and the cameras offer them a rare chance to reach their favorite prey, humans. Janine didn't know any of this when she found an abandoned Polaroid camera in a lighthouse. If you find an abandoned Polaroid camera in a lighthouse, leave it there. Don't pick it up. No. Like, if you're in the woods and you see something, don't touch it. You leave it there. If you find a camera in a lighthouse, no. No. Leave it there. My hair is stuck to my glasses. At first she assumes the ghostly shapes in the photos are a glitch or a prank, but then the spirits begin to hunt her down, and she's forced into a deadly race to free herself from the camera's curse. Yeah. Of course you are. I can't wait to read it. Next up we have House of Bone and Rain from Gabino Iglesias. Now, more than anything, I've read a couple of this author's books and I enjoyed them. But more than anything, I really appreciate Gabino as a person. I've followed him on Twitter for years and on Instagram. He's one of those authors that are so uplifting to other authors. He shares spooky art. He's so kind and uplifting. Like I said, like he encourages people. He just all of it. I love him so much. So his new book comes out this year. I've already requested it on NetGalley, so I've got my fingers crossed that I will get an early copy of it. So let's see what the blurb says. In the latest from Shirley Jackson and Bram Stoker award-winning author The Devil Takes You Home, a group of 5 teenage boys living in Puerto Rico seek vengeance after one of their mothers is murdered. A doomed tale of devotion and the afterlife of violence. 4 childhood friends, Gabe, Xavier, Tabo, Paul, and Bimbo. Death has always been close. Hurricanes, car accidents, gang violence, suicide. We're surrounded by ghosts, but this time is different. Bimbo's mom has been shot dead. We're going to kill the guys who killed her, Bimbo swears, and they all agree. Feral with grief, he has become unrecognizable, taking no prisoners in his search for names. Soon, they learn Maria was gunned down by guys working for the drug kingpin of Puerto Rico. No one has ever gone up against him and survived. As the boys strategize, a storm gathers far from the coast. Hurricanes are known to carry evil spirits in their currents and bring them ashore, spirits which impose their own order. Blurring the boundaries between mysticism and the grim realities of our world, House of Bone and Rain is a harrowing coming-of-age story, a doomed tale of devotion, the afterlife of violence, and what rolls in on the tide. Yeah. Yes. Okay. We also have You Like It Darker by Stephen King. First of all, I love this title because it reminds me of Leonard Cohen. And I love Stephen King. So this, I believe, is a collection of short stories, which I love because Stephen King's novels are great, but for me personally, where he really shines and where he really gets me is in the short stories. And I can't wait for this one. It's been a while since we've gotten a short story collection, and I have been anxiously awaiting it. So we got that coming. 1, 2, 3. Next up is Grady Hendrix's new book, which comes out, I believe, in July. There's no cover yet. There's no blurb. But you know what? I don't need a cover or a blurb. It's called Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. And I mean, I've talked about Grady Hendrix's book so much on this channel. It doesn't matter what it's about. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. And I mean, the title tells you at least a bit what it's about. And I can't wait. Also that, Under the Palms by Kira Rauda. I've read a few of her books, I think 2 or 3, and I've really liked them all. So let's give it a little peek here what it's about. Under the Palms. Oh, this says book 2. You can tell I didn't do too much research before I filmed this. I just kind of gathered the titles, but during a weekend retreat, a powerful family plays a dangerous game of dark secrets and cold-blooded ambition in a novel by Kira Rauda, a USA Today bestseller of Beneath the Surface. Under the direction of the Kingsley's new president, Paige, the family has gathered for a weekend retreat at a luxurious Laguna Beach resort, still clinging to the hope of succession are the sons of Richard Kingsley, the family matriarch, and John the oldest, who's clawed his way back from a dark tragedy, and Paige's estranged husband, Ted the Golden Boy. When Richard's ex and his wayward daughter join the fray, Paige finds herself with two fast allies. They know a secret that could shatter the family legacy. Call it leverage, call it revenge, the Kingsley women believe they have the upper hand. But as the power games begin, greater threats than the howling Santa Ana winds are coming. Because this weekend, amid so much greed and betrayal, no Kingsley is safe. It's family. Watch your back. Kind of sounds a bit like Succession, which I loved. So I'm happy for that. Then we've got 2 more, which I think brings us up to 11. I wanted to stick to 10, but today I heard of 2 books and I had to mention them. First one is The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. Now, if you've been around this channel for a while, you know I love the Gilmore Girls. It's my comfort show. It's my turn it on quietly in the background when I'm folding laundry, editing, anything. I just love having it on. I find it like spending time with friends in that certain way that, you know, comfort shows can be. And Kelly Bishop plays Emily Gilmore, and she's my favorite. I love her so much. So I cannot wait to read her memoirs. And it comes out September 17th, which is 10 days before my birthday. So I'm just going to take that as a personal birthday gift to me. And then we have Lifeform by Jenny Slate. Jenny Slate's an absolute angel who I love so much. She's an actress, a comedian, a writer. I did a book talk on her last book, Little Weirds, and I loved it. I'm assuming it's going to be kind of the same, just sort of quirky personal essays. And also, if you have a small child in your life, 5 to 10 years old maybe, she made a super cute stop animation movie called Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. And it's so cute. I watched it. Me and Ed. We didn't have any kids around. And it was so cute. I watched it because I love her so much. And I loved it. Her comedy specials are great too. She has one coming out this Friday on Prime. So if you love her, check that out. But I think that's gonna do it for me for tonight. I don't know why I put my glasses back on. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a long, busy day, so we've got some like chaotic energy going on, which seemed like the perfect time to come and film and talk about all these books. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe, and I will see you again real soon.